from the year. Wow, by 1/1000th of a second. Like you said, Marty, both riders left before the green light, but Andrew Hines gets the red light because, like you said, he was just 1/1000th of a second quicker than Ryan Schnitz was, and that cost him the race.
And the win for Ryan bumps him into 4th place in the final point standings ahead of Chip Ellis. So a big win in more ways than one.
Straight up right there.
And now we get ready for the
Straight
Pro
back.
Stock Final.
Go to your left.
Let's quickly go to Dave Reef.
Well, as you can see, this is a John Force body, but it does have duct tape that says Eric's name. They have pieced this car back together. John Force has stuck his head underneath the hood to talk to Eric about this race. What did you tell John when you stuck your head in?
Oh, we're just talking. No, John Medlin and Eric, we're just talking. I want him to feel the car on the burnout, make sure that everything feels right, and then he's got to make that decision, because he's got to know that it feels like it always did. It's a safety factor here, and that's most important. This kid's so important to me, as all my drivers. He knows what to do, and he'll make that decision after the burnout. If everything's right, we back it up and we go for it. If not, we pull the plug. He'll make that call.
It's amazing that they've made it to the line. More on that matchup, but here's Tom Martino. His last Pro Stock win was at Sonoma in 01. Jeg's last win was Joliet in 2003. Dodge is guaranteed its 2nd win. They're both running Mopar. Red light Martino. And Jeg Coughlin runs it through.
You got it, baby! You got it, baby!
Look at Rusty Glidden, their first win. This has probably been the biggest disappointment season for Jeg Coughlin and the entire Don Schumacher Pro Stock team. That's the first win for Schumacher's Pro Stock effort.
My God will take it. Way to close the year out.
It took him 23 races to finally get the win. There's Bob Glidden with Don Schumacher. Jeg picks up his 34th career win. All right, now, let's find out if they did not have time to do much of anything on this car. And this was amazing that they even got it back to the line. They had to re-weld this thing. Dave, give us more.
Well, they did get the car welded, as we mentioned, and the concern was whether this car would start. They didn't get a chance to actually warm the car, but they did start it.
Well, he made the burnout. We'll find out. What would be your thoughts?
Well, that's one of the keys. Is that it looked like the chassis was bent after he put it into the sand. And if the chassis, if they didn't get it straight, a lot of times when you do the burnout, it won't go straight on that burnout.
All right, let's go to Gary.
And with Ryan Schnitz. Ryan, did you know that you had won this race?
I had no idea. I thought for sure Andrew won. Talk about an exact repeat of Columbus. Andrew red lit. We wouldn't go into 3rd gear for some reason, and we came away with the win. It's really amazing.
It is amazing. We'll get a word with Jeg Coughlin in just a moment.
All right, as we come back to the starting line, the body is up, and of course, we've got Tony Pedregon over in the other lane. But let's show you some of this track. This is what happened, and it actually 2 hours. Normally the turnaround is 75 minutes, but as you take a look at some of this damage and work, what happened out on the track was NHRA had other classes. They also had the Cackle Fest, and it gave these guys the much needed time.
Yeah, and there was a tremendous amount of work to get this car ready. I mean, just the fact of cleaning all that dirt and sand out of everything was enough, but to actually have to work on the chassis, weld it. You see them putting the engine together on the engine stand while they were repairing the chassis to help save some time, and then they lifted that complete engine into that chassis. I mean, that thing's got, I don't know exactly how much it weighs, but it's got to be about 800 pounds, give or take some. And, you know, all them guys just muscled that thing in. It's just a true test of the fact that they even got this car up to the starting line.
John Force's body, and here we are. Let's go. Well, this time it is Tony Pedregon, 4.75 his elapsed time. You saw that Eric's car just barely made it off of the starting line, and that was all she wrote. But congratulations to the team for just making it to the starting line. His 2nd win as a team owner. Gary?
And with Jeg Coughlin, we've talked a couple of times this year about how frustrating it has been along the way. How rewarding does it feel now to hold that Wally in your hand in a season-ending event?
Well, it feels outstanding. You know, anytime you can win at Pomona in the AAA event, it's just outstanding. You know, Pomona's one of those special race places that all of us racers love to come to, and you know, to get a win here in our final race is pretty exciting for Jegs. And you know, I want to thank all my fans. They've been just outstanding. You know, for supporting us through the last year or so, and you know, it's just a big win for Team Schumacher. Congratulations to them for the championships, and we'll keep going here.
Let me ask you about your plans for 2006. Are we going to see you behind the wheel of a Pro Stock car next year?
You know, it's kind of a difficult question, but you know, I'm not planning on returning here with Don and the team. You know, that's a tough decision, certainly after a big win today, but you know, that doesn't really change the emotion. We've been working real hard together, Don and I, for the last couple of months, trying to put something strong together for 06, and you know, just didn't come to terms on it. So you know, I'm going to sit out the year next year. Maybe something else will pop up. He knows I'm ready if he needs a stunt driver, so we'll just go at it from there. But I want to thank my family. They've supported me 100%, and I love you all.
Thank you.
Well, he will be